Okay, so this is the deflated ball experiment. The first thing we'll need for this experiment is the materials. A ball pin, a pencil, a deflated ball that doesn't have any holes in it, a small bowl, a scale that's pretty accurate, and a ball pump. The next thing you need to do is get your scale, and then your bowl, and then we press start, or first we press on, then start, then we put the ball on the scale. We would weigh the bowl first, but because the bowl's weight isn't going to change, we don't need to weigh it. And now that we have an accurate reading, we write it down on the piece of paper. It's 4.35. And the next thing we do, because we have an accurate reading here, we get the needle, we find the hole with the ball, we put the needle in, try not to puncture the ball here, get the needle in. Once the needle is in, you'll hear it leaking. That's not a problem because it's already deflated. Get the pump. Then you put the ball in and you start pumping it until it's about 10 psi. And then once the ball's at 10 psi, we pull out the needle and we put it back on the cup. Wait for the numbers to settle, and then we grab our piece of paper and our pencil and we write down the new number. We're going to put it at more psi. If you didn't know, psi stands for pounds per square inch. Ball in here. It's already attached to the pump. That's nice. And we'll pump it up again. How to tell how much psi your ball has? There's the needle that points to it right there. Now this is really full. I can't push it in the sides anymore. The average psi you should put in a standard size basketball is 7 to 9 psi. This one's about 30. So let's see how much it weighs. Okay, grab your paper and your pencil. 1, 0, 0. So now we're writing down the psi. The psi for the first one was 0. The psi for the second one was 10. And the psi for the third one was 30. So the differences between weight of the three different measurements, where the difference between 0 and 10 was 0.2. The difference between 2 and 3 was 0.45. This experiment simply illustrates that air has weight because the weight increases. Also, the ball, it inflated. The air was filling it up. You can see the stitches are breaking here because it's almost 20 more PSI than it should be filled up. So we should probably deflate it now because it might burst. The second use for the ball pump needle is this. Once you've taken it out of the pump, put it in the ball. And then because it's so full of air, it will start doing this. Look at the piece of paper. Now we'll just wait a bit for this to deflate. You should be pushing so it deflates faster, but usually this takes a long time. Once the ball has stopped, like when you take your hands off, it's not relentlessly making that annoying noise. Then you turn on the scale, wait for it to zero out. Then you put the ball on the scale once more. See how much it weighs now. So 1.4.30. Write that down. So even though the first time the ball looked a lot more deflated, it still weighs roughly the same amount. So we're back to where we started.